Testing. Oh man, am I? What am I doing? All right. Bear with me. Huh. Oh man, I should have made a cup of tea before I did this. Okay. Oh, the stream's looking good and healthy. The wind's getting up, so maybe turn off the ambient noise for now. It's awfully dark. It's a little bit better. Apparently that's that whiteness is balanced. We're back in London. Now I've got to try and work out how to get a video capture device. Whoop. Here I am. What a mess. Okay. What a mess. Okay. Oh. Oh. I'm getting bad video settings. Bad video settings. No. Bad video settings. You cannot be serious. I'll just put you there. You don't want to be seeing. This is the problem with kind of seeing all of the rubbish going on in my room. I'm getting bad video settings apparently. I'm just playing around at the moment. I'm trying to understand why I've got bad video settings. Oh. Oh, so many bloody windows open. I don't even know what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm just doing a video test at the moment. I've now become distinctly aware of a potential issue with the bad. It's telling me that the stream was healthy, and then the next thing you know, it's telling me the settings are bad, and I'm like, but the automatic configuration wizard sorted that out. So you're telling me the automatic. Okay, not going to bother with that shit. I'm just going to carry on. Ignore that crap. Bad video settings. Bad video settings. How dare you be such a bad video setting? Shit. Let's do a test. Is the audio and video coming through okay? Any buffering or dropping? In the meantime, I'll wait. Welcome to my hovel. Oh Welcome to my hovel. That is insane. How can you be 10? Okay, fair enough. For some reason my phone didn't charge up properly. Okay, well it doesn't matter. I just need, if anyone in my one viewer can 8.4 seconds. Note that ingestion something or other. Unfortunately, YouTube, you haven't. I can't even read the thing. Okay. Well, they're telling me the settings are really bad, but I'm kind of like, well, no, it seems really good actually. Maybe they're bad for them. But either way, I can't do anything about it now because I'm in the middle of this. Oh, okay, 9:52. Now it's saying the stream is healthy. Oh, now it's bad again. How interesting. Huh. Okay, so there's some kind of issue going on. Apparently I'm supposed to it's all good. I mean, I will say the output, the upload is pretty high, but I mean, anyway, the main point, I don't even know, I just wanted to talk actually. And just generally put out an update, personal update video, because I haven't done one for a while, and just update people on where I'm at, if anybody gives a shit. Just how fuck. Maybe I should just. It's just a test at the end of the day. I mean, it's all good. Carry on. Okay, so yeah, I'm just journaling and writing stuff down, and then it just kind of came to me about what to do about the Schumann resonance situation, because you know, it's probably quite obvious at this point that I haven't done anything about it for quite some time. No, and people are probably wondering, well, what's happened or whatever. Well, obviously, you kind of know what's happened. Everyone knows what's been going on, so it's not like it's quite obvious. Well, the last few months of insanity, it's been very difficult to actually settle down and try to focus on doing any activity at all, actually, not just making videos or doing research, but anything, like literally. It's been doing my head in for months, and suddenly this Mercury retrograde comes around, and suddenly the art starts to come through, and suddenly more stuff comes up, and I'm like, where have you been? So yeah, I'm starting to do a bit of collaborative work, which could be interesting, and I think I kind of need something to kick me up the butt when it comes to the artwork, because I wasn't making anything. I was just so down and within myself. You know, I guess that's the last few months have been for me, is just real deep inner reflection and a lot of hard inner work. It's been hard work of a different nature, and I mean, this is the thing: work is relative. And thing is, I think people who are less able to function in society in the way that's expected of them serve a purpose for other things. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping that's the case. So. Anyway, the main thing is that I'm kind of developing the ideas of the Schumann resonance. I've come to a realization that I can put together regular decodings as a combination of artwork and information. I feel that something's wanting me to do that as almost as if whatever these codes are that are coming through the Schumann resonance, they need to be somehow put out there, one way or another. And I think the best way to do it is these kind of like these video packets of information, right? You know, so I can condense a lot of data and information into a video. I could put, I can. I mean, when I look at what I've done, I've actually got a good package, a product to sell now, if I want to. You know, so basically a video which incorporates the actual animation that I can extract from the Schumann resonance, the images, and the necessary images, and then on top of that, the sound, the data from the sound. That I can convert the image into an actual sound file. And so if I put that all together, that not only makes a piece of artwork, but it also then becomes a data packet for whoever is out there looking for whatever codes or whatever they need. And I suspect that's what I'm supposed to be doing. It's almost like this need to know compartmentalization thing. I've got a job to do, but I don't necessarily know exactly how it fits into the grand scheme of things. And I guess maybe that's the way to look at it. Maybe this is the job I'm supposed to do at the moment, is to put these decodes together as data packets for the reception of somebody else. Who that fucker is, I have no idea. I hope they're a good, decent, genuine, lovely person. Starting to wonder if I'm aging really quickly. Okay. The crease in my eye, in my forehead's ridiculous. Okay, stop looking at yourself. So there we go. I've been thinking about so many things and so much stuff and so many ideas and so many quandaries and curiosities I've needed to think about and figure out for a while. And it's just not been a time of making stuff, really. It's been a time, it's just not been that time. It's like, you know, this whole situation, regardless of what the truth of it is, has been enough to force everyone I know into some state of real deep reflection and consideration of what's really important, what matters. I'm not used to having my face on here, so I'm kind of umming and ahhing a lot. I'm very put off by seeing myself. So I don't even like looking at the camera. I'm not saying anything of particular relevance. I'm trying to get my head together and trying to work out. It's just some really exciting possibilities. But the thing is, the Schumann resonance, I want to put out a video that kind of just basically goes over the next phase of how I've got to where I am now, because there's basically a big gap, a big jump from getting to the point where I discovered there were animations within the Schumann resonance to the point whereas now I realise those animations have a purpose and a point, and actually I can start doing something with them. I'll go through a perfect example right now. What should I do? So I'd like, hang on, oh, start again. So this is like, let's put myself in the middle there. Ah. I have no idea where I put that now. Okay, there. No, not in that one. Oh man. There you go. This is just a little glimpse of the kind of thing I was thinking of doing. So, I mean, initially, at the moment, yeah, as you'll see, it's over clouds at the moment, but I also have some video artwork that I could be doing and adding to make the whole thing all the more richer. And there's obviously adjustments and things I can do as well. See, I mean, I don't think it's really for me to necessarily translate them or work out what they are. I think the fact that they're visual, highly organized visual animations suggests that that it may not necessarily be something that is. It's not data in the way that we would imagine. It's not like something we would recognize at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that kind of thing. There's obviously some kind of pattern and cipher and thing going on there that needs to be looked at. It's not really my area of expertise, but there are also additionally a number of other factors involved, particularly the animation. The fact that it even has an animated quality suggests that this is suggests that it's highly organized, it's deliberate, it's intentional. So this is and these are the basic facts. I mean, we can go into we can speculate about all of that stuff as much as we like, but the main thing is to focus on the very facts of the matter, which is I found a fucking animation in the spectrograph of the Schumann resonance, and that brings up a lot of questions, a lot of things that we really need to think about, really important themes, particularly around the idea of are we alone, are we not alone, that kind of stuff. And I think a lot of people have already kind of started going down that route anyway, and are preparing themselves for those possibilities. So, but obviously there is something in this. There's stuff going on with this that probably needs to be looked at. I don't know what it's all about. I do get feelings and intuitions when I'm doing it, when I'm putting it together, when I'm watching it. I see faces. In this one, there's it doesn't have the whole strip here in this particular example, but in part of the strip there is a section of the animation where the face of a bird appears and it sticks its tongue out and kind of blinks at you, and it's quite astonishing actually. You begin to see the faces and the different characters that emerge from from these animations, and it's quite astonishing, really. So just doing that. That alone has kind of blown my mind, and I think I really needed a lot of time to really process what it all means. What is this all about? Um, who who could this be from? What is the message? I don't even get it, but it does feel also distinctly connected to all of the work I've been doing with the clouds and all of the symmetry and the faces and all of this, and the work of the nature spirits and spending time in nature and my nature spirit photography. It all feels linked and connected somehow. And this is just kind of like I come at it from this from the perception of an artist, and that means it's like this. It's an expanding, evolving process that may never end. It may keep going. It may lead on to new projects or new things. At the moment, though, it seems that if I look back at all my work over the last since I was a teenager, I realise now that it's all been in the culmination of it's led me to now. Everything leads you to the now. So yeah, there's a lot to be found, a lot to be discovered in all of this, and obviously it's a ongoing pathway. And it makes good art. It's interesting. It's experimental. This is the kind of shit I love doing. I'm going to be incorporating sound. I'm going to be I'm going to start translating these things into the sound files and incorporate them as well. So I think overall it's going to be a nice new art project for me to get into. Now that I've been able to start putting together a way of communicating all of these ideas involving symmetry and decoding the matrix and communicating and with our reality and all the different levels of consciousness that exist within our reality and ultimately within us. It's important for this stuff to be explored, and I think this is how it's happening for me. This is the way that it's manifesting in my regard, and I think ultimately there could be something worthwhile in it. I think it's good work that deserves to be remunerated. I don't even know how to say that word anymore. And if I can put together a good package of regular content, then that's my job, right? That could be my new, that's something, keeps me out of trouble. And if it pays well enough eventually or whatever, I don't know, it might even be something I can take on full time, or to break away from state dependency. It's just about consistency and trying to stay on top of the workload, and also try to keep my head together, and a very heavy emphasis on self-care right now. Because and it's so necessary, right? It's like it's insanity out there, and it feels like if you don't grab hold of something, you're going to get pulled along with it. So this is going to be my anchor. This is the work I was born to do. This is my artwork. This is the stuff, and it feels nice to feel a little bit of that re-emerging again, and feeling that passion. But the problem is that my condition, diagnoses, whatever you want to call it, symptoms. I don't even know what it is anymore. I mean, I keep thinking about, I'm trying to work out, is this mental health issues, me recovering from a mental illness, or is this a spiritual awakening, or what's going on here? And trying to really examine how helpful diagnoses and all that psychiatry stuff is, you know. That's another avenue I'm thinking of going down as well, like just talking head videos covering my recovery, basically. It's been, what, 10 years? 10 years now since I would say that this recovery journey began. And it's like, I don't know, it's almost like saying I'm recovering from a mental illness. Like, it's like saying that there's just so many weird things about making a statement that way, like that, you know, and it feels I don't know, it feels like I'm then confining myself or defining myself to those criteria, and if I do that, then I could ultimately make my situation worse. But then there's also an issue with spiritually bypassing and being overly optimistic. I mean, I don't have the energy to be overly optimistic in any way, but like, I cannot live in like a state of denial and toxic positivity, basically, you know, like in denial of the reality that actually life involves a lot of suffering, and most of us are hurting one way or another, and we really need to find ways to heal that shit, because basically every step we tread ahead of us is created by the weight of our past and our traumas and all of our shit, and it's not helpful, it's not healthy, and it's like, how can I keep taking steps forward if I'm not fixing the shit that I'm living with? And so how can you take a step forward and make any real true progress if you're not dealing with crap, you know? And that's the problem I have with a lot of the it's almost like this unnatural level of optimism. It's like, I would say it's even like a frantic anxiety or mania of like, things will be great, no, it's going to be great, you know. It's like, it's frantic. If anything, that is a telltale sign, that anxiety level of, oh no, it's going to be good. You can tell that there's almost like a frantic desperation for optimism and positivity there, and it's like, that's not realistic either. You can't sustain that. It's like, it's almost like it's almost like coming close to burnout. Like, you try to keep an optimistic frame of mind, but that optimistic frame of mind is going to be affected by a lot of shit going around, so in your life and from everyone else's life. So it's like, it's going to be easily influenced, and you're going to get knocked down. But then that desperate attempt to grab hold of it, even if it comes at the cost of pretending, living a lie, you know. To me, it's like, you know, I came out, I'm gay. Like, to me, the idea of living a lie is abhorrent, and that's a lesson you learn when you're coming to terms with aspects of yourself that other people may judge or prejudge or whatever. But it's a deeply personal process, and it's like, you know, the truth of things is so important, and you just want to get to them. You just want to understand the whole point of it. You don't want to there's just no time to be wading through lies and deceptions, and especially the ones we tell ourselves. So it just feels really necessary to really turn to ourselves and just go like, what the fuck are you playing at? Like, are you being honest with yourself? Like, are you telling the truth? Are you really sure You know, like, because every time I feel like I've cleared something, something else comes around and bites you on the ass. And it's like, oh no, you didn't quite clear that. It's like, oh right, no, you're right. You're quite right. Need to do that. So he keeps going. It jumps to stream is healthy, then it goes bad video settings again. Interesting. So there we go. That's the these are the encodings that will be coming up. I don't even know where I'm going. I see I'm all over the place at the moment. I guess you could probably work out. Just an update, really. Like the lockdown period was difficult in many ways, but also gave me an opportunity to really see what it was I was missing in my life, and the things I miss and the things that also hold me back. You know, it was all reflected through that entire experience. So I got to live in a mirror world for 12 weeks. And that's the thing, is like the moment you have these human interactions with you on a regular basis, you've got a mirror. The moment you have another human, another person in your personal space, you have a mirror. And that mirror actually serves as a grounding process. It anchors you. And that is a multi-dimensional edged sword in itself. Oh gosh. So yep, what was I going to do with this? I wanted to do another set of these green things, right? And I wanted to expand upon them because you only get to see half. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the same thing. Duplicate the group. I'm going to alter it. So let's reset. Oh wow, reset the transform. Is it that big? Oh. Where's the other one? Okay, I see. Well, that's a pain in the ass. Okay, there's that one, and then there's this one. We've got the lower half here, right? So now we're going to have a look at the lower half. Might even flip that one like that. Vertical. Alright. See, this is the other half. And this is the scary thing. They have, well, Split the screen. Oh look, there it is. Of course, it's so bloody small. Center the screen. Oh, hang on a minute. Is this meant to be is there meant to be these kind of because it doesn't quite make sense, does it? That these some recent. So yes, it's just that at the moment I'm just trying to there it is. Oh, missed it. There he is. Right there, just missed him. That was the does make you think, doesn't it? What the hell is the animation of a crumbling city doing and what I'll do is we need to filter. There you go. I wonder if I can invert them. Not quite. Oh, hang on a minute. Smoothness. There we go. Right, so it's about. Well, anyway, the whole point is I'm just showing you. I'm having to work this out. This is documentation work as well. It's the thing to realize is that maybe I should just do that. Smoothness. There you go. This one. So yes, this will be something I will be doing on a regular basis. And trying out different ways of video art and showing us. I was considering the possibility of. I mean, look at the way the clouds. Okay, here we go. You get to see the. Very interesting how the clouds just do that right over the right area, isn't it? Remove that one. So we'll just duplicate that. And flip that over. No, maybe not. Or did I just create a happy accident there? You can tell that there's all kinds of stuff going on in it. Probably chosen a completely wrong time to do all this. What was I wanted to do then? There he is. Well, that was perfectly placed. There he is again. Maybe we could make him bigger. Where is he? Just need to rotate it. Just waiting for the rest of that to come down now. It's interesting when you look at it, you actually look at it in two different ways. There's that inversion again. Looks like a bunch of chimneys and towers one side, and the other one it looks like skyscrapers. And how is this even possible? You know, it's sophisticated, right? I mean, this isn't just random stuff going on. It's clearly a set of messages. Maybe they're too close together. I think maybe just one of them. Or maybe they just need to be thinner. That's kind of it, guys. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I'm going to be doing for a little while, I think. A kind of multimedia mixture of this kind of work. And we'll see what happens. Just a little update, really. Totally all over the place. Not very well put together. I apologise. just a bit disorganized and a little more self-conscious than usual. I'm very mindful of saying stuff and ultimately casting spells on myself, so just being really, really cautious about that, really. And yeah, enjoy the decodes, and I'm going to leave it there for now because I'm feeling a bit tired and I want to get on with some work. But yep, exciting stuff to come. I don't know if it's going to be everybody's cup of tea, but this is kind of a creative direction, one of many creative directions I'm going to go. I think it might be interesting to see what happens. I've got a feeling that whatever's going to be coming out of these things is going to do something for someone somewhere. And there's, if it doesn't do anything for me, then that's the main thing. It's got to do something for me. And when I do this stuff and I see these things as part of my own personal journey and processes, I'm blown away by it, and I hope that it, at least intrigues other people or blows them away somehow. It's not a necessity. I don't think, of course, it would matter to me in a way that, because I care. I like to know these things. If people do find the stuff helpful in any way, it's nice to know, and I appreciate people for taking the time to listen to me, even though I'm extremely disorganized and all over the place at the moment. Just doing my best to keep going, no matter how difficult it gets. So that's what they want. They want us to give up. They want us to give in. And the best thing you can do is stay alive. Stay alive. And don't give them the satisfaction or the pleasure. Whoever them are, by the way, I don't even know who these them are. Ultimately, we'll probably find that it's just us anyway, so, I mean... Anyway, have a good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever, and speak soon. Well, they're pretty impressive today. Look at that. I think they're preparing. They're preparing the sky. Here you are. Help from above, or below, or wherever. I hope. I don't know, man. I can't actually think of how a human could put this shit together. Okay, fair enough. I was able to put it together myself this way, but I mean, because this is embedded. These shapes, these forms, they're all embedded in this. They're obviously designed somehow to interact with overlays and things moving around to create the illusion of animation and movement. So that to me indicates intelligence at work here, you know. But the level and the detail, and in order to do that stuff, in order to get to know how those layers were going to blend that way, and that they would create these forms and these spaces and shapes, that takes something very special, a very powerful computer, someone very intelligent and creative, inspired. It's like, you know, there's a lot to be said. And it's very mesmerizing. Now what if I was to add the different versions over each other and see what happens? Wow, it creates very interesting pattern. An overlay over an overlay. Is it me, or does this just stuff just all I did was just move it and then it's like, it's magic. I just don't. It's being an artist, I suppose. I think that, and then I realised that was the key to manifestation, right? It's like you're facilitating potential, and that means that you do bits, and you work towards it, but the rest, like 50% of it's you, and the other 50% is the flow. And if you do it right, I guess, I don't know, not exactly sure how it all works, but it does make an H, doesn't it? I'm still trying to work out what the meaning of this H is. Zunk. It is like watching teletext, but a million times better. I mean, that means I can then put this. Now I will duplicate this group, copy, paste again, and then I will move it over to here. So I need to bring it into. It's strange because it seems to be in alignment there. Oh no, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Shit. Oh, what have I done? I made it a bit smaller. Scrap that. Do that again. Duplicate. Move it over here. Yeah, that's the middle there. And do it again. I thought I was finished, but clearly I'm not. Right, so now I've got those groups. And I think oh yes. Alright, so now we need to just position them correctly. Yep, there. And then this one is kind of in between. Okay, yep, that's fine. So then Y. Oh, interesting. There we go. Perfect. Right, so I'll turn them all off. Turn them back on again. Let's start. Yeah, works for me. There you go. There's a few more. This is probably the most complete one I've done so far. Yeah, any questions? I've been explaining it. This is basically the animations that are playing over the video are pieces of work that I've been part of a project that I've been. Yeah, looks like it. This is stuff that I've been working on for a while. This is from the Schumann resonance. This is information data extracted from it and converted into an animation. You'll see all kinds of things in it, mate. This is embedded. So this is a proof of intelligent manipulation of the Schumann resonance to convey information. I just found a way to extract that information and put it into this. This is just one of them. I mean, there'll be more to come. I mean, there's already loads of this is from the 1st of July, so that was 5 days ago. I've been working on a few things since then anyway, not Schumann resonance stuff, but I wouldn't say we hold it, I'd say we're conduits to information, and that we can tap into that at any point, particularly if you're the more creative and meditative and joyful the endeavor, the more connected you can become. And that's why when artists work and stuff, they get into a flow state. Everyone sees something that others don't see. It's the nature of being. You're welcome to share what you see if you like. Yeah, that's the weird thing. You can't even look at people's. You used to be able to click on the thing and it will say go to user's channel. Well, that option's gone now. I quite agree. Chiefs, fails, yeah. Great deal of manipulation, lesser magic. What we call Antarctica, yeah. I think that's a possibility too. I'm not committed to an idea at the moment, but I'm very open-minded to the idea that the world isn't what they tell us it is. I don't know, I mean, the only way, I guess, the best thing to do would be to go to the Antarctic and... Oh, but we can't go there, can we? So... yeah, if we went to the shores of the Antarctic, we'd be able to see which ways the waves crash. But obviously, you know... fat chance of that happening. But I think the main thing is like, yeah, as you point out, stuff to question and ask questions about always. It's like not, you don't have to impose an idea or speculate or speculation or model or anything like that. All you need to do is question the actual logic of, yeah, I know. Assume that I know a lot about, I would, yeah, if you've been watching, you'd probably be aware, you'd probably have the impression by now that I'm with you, I'm probably with you on a lot of things, so. The apple bird thing, yeah. I'm aware of that. It's interesting you mentioned Antarctica because I was actually reviewing an old video that I did of going into the Google Earth Antarctic vortex thing that they have on their website. I recorded doing that and then used it as a music video type thing. And I was actually experimenting with remixing it yesterday, so interesting you mentioned Antarctica. It's another little hint that maybe that's the next project I should be working on. It's interesting. It's going to be. It's the you know what it is? It's actually becoming. It's probably going to be one of the background videos to some of the Schumann resonance decodes I'm going to do, because I like to create visuals and stuff. That's what I like to do. So yeah. I appreciate the sub, by the way. Thank you. I don't get much of a chance to speak to people directly too much unless I'm doing these live streams. Otherwise, I'm usually on Discord floating around in the Tartary server. I have my own server. I spend a lot of time hanging around in Tartary and chatting to people there, so a few of us kind of gathered around there, and people that kind of question everything. It's a good start. You know, you kind of want to be around people who can see through bullshit, basically, don't you? You know, it's just because it's got to the point now, it's just exhausting being around people who are so sucked in by the narrative. And it seems that everyone wants you to believe one story or another. But to be honest, I think that takes us away from what we really ought to be focusing on right now, which is our own developing ourselves, really getting ourselves spiritually, psychologically, and physically prepared and better, improve ourselves. I mean, ultimately, we need to improve ourselves anyway. But I think a bit of that. Question them or just fucking avoid them altogether. It depends really on where you're at, because at the moment I'm having to really. I've been quite withdrawn and quite, you know, going within a lot, and it's felt really necessary to withdraw a little bit and focus on my own shit. So having to then go through the rigmarole of, you know, of this, oh, I've got to wake people up, I'm at that point where I can't do it anymore. I've got to focus on the work I'm doing, which is helping towards that process anyway. That's where I'm good at, you know. But you know, that's the thing. You find out the bit. I feel that, you know, by focusing on my love and passion for art and video and observing shit, that I'm contributing in some way to the process. Uh, the issue, right? I'll tell you the problem with waking people up. The problem with waking people up is there's a responsibility, and it's irresponsible, really, to go around, expose people to this shit, and then just let them fucking languish in the horrific experience of waking up. Okay? I mean, it's like if you're going to do it, focus on the people you love and help them through it. Question the narrative. But I think at the end of the day, it's like we need numbers, really. We need to find our own kind to an extent, um, in a way, so that we can actually organize a bit better. Like it's like you're not going to survive alone. You need to be around others of your own kind, so to speak. And it feels that um, if we're not prepared to stand up for ourselves and each other and our community um, and our right for freedom and free speech, then what's the fucking point, And that means also there's a certain element of responsibility and a duty of care towards others that we need to take on board when we decide to use the mantle of let's wake people up. There's a responsibility behind it, and to do so blindly without realizing the physical and emotional and spiritual ramifications of such an activity would be silly. And I think that was the issue a lot of truthers have, is that they're not fully thinking it through. That when you wake people up, it's better to help them through it. You don't just throw a load of shit up somebody's space and go, there we go, eat it up, deal with it. It's not a nice way to do it at all. And if you're an empathic person, the amount of suffering that has been involved in the waking up process. And you don't want other people to go through that, particularly if it's someone you love. There's no point worrying about strangers. It's the people you love, the people who love you, the ones that are your support mechanism. They're the ones that need the focus. And if they have to get on with you, and being awake is part of your way of life now, and they still want to be part of your life, then in a way that's where the focus and the duty is to wake people up. But everyone's got to do it in their own way, in their own time, with their own flavour, and there is no right or wrong way of doing it, really, because they have to make their own mistakes too. The only thing you can do is just to be there. Otherwise, if no one's there to help, then what's the fucking point? Yeah. It's also more efficient in terms of the use of your own personal energy. No, it's one lesson I learned. I keep having to learn is like pick and choose your battles. Know what to put your energy in and what not to put your energy in. Otherwise, you end up depleting yourself, and ultimately, that's not taking responsibility either. There's a necessary level of self-care involved in it as well that needs to be undertaken. And if you don't look after yourself, you will go fucking mad, basically. So that's the way I look at the whole awakening thing. It's a double-edged sword that requires a great deal of self-responsibility and a duty of care towards other people to whom you choose to expose this stuff to. It's just cause and effect. But there's a moral and ethical obligation involved as well. If you're a decent person, then that will make sense to you, The clouds are doing their thing today. They still do their thing. They do their thing all the time. See, YouTube keeps sending me these messages. One moment they're saying the stream is healthy, then the next moment they say it's bad, and it's like everyone's reporting that it's going smoothly, that the audio is working fine, the video isn't buffering. So no point changing it, really, as long as it's all right. It's mesmerizing shit, isn't it? Do I know the difference between clouds and chemtrails? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? What a question. Well, first of all, clouds don't exist, and I'm extremely skeptical as to whether or not chemtrails exist. Not because I don't believe they exist, but because I didn't believe, then I did believe, and now I'm at the point where I realise there's so much more going on than just chemtrails, and a lot of people are they're mislabeling things as chemtrail. Everything's a fucking chemtrail, right? It's like there's a few aspects about a chemtrail which make it a chemtrail, right? I think anyone who's looked into it long enough know that there's a few telltale signs, and that sometimes those telltale signs don't happen, and you realise that, oh, actually there's something else going on. The planes are holograms, they're holographic projections, in my opinion. I'm serious, quite serious. I believe planes are holographic projections, or a vast number of them are. I'm not saying planes aren't real. I'm saying that I believe that a great deal of them are holographic projections, and that there is flying shit above us, massive flying things above us. I would say really big, really, really, really big flying things above us. I can't even say what they are because I don't know what they are. And considering I'm questioning the nature of our reality, the nature of our world, I don't know where they come from or how they stay up there. So there's a conundrum. There's a number of clashing paradigms going on for me. And it's a question of, okay, well, there's obviously giant ships flying above us, and they are there all the time. They're just cloaked, and if you watch it enough, you'll see it. You'll see the images. You'll see it. You'll see all the weird shapes and stuff. It's not normal. Whatever they tell us clouds are, it's not right. It's not correct. It's bullshit. None of what they tell us is true. There may be elements of it that are true, but not in the way we think they are. There's always a catch. There's always a little twist. There's always a little twist to it. I don't know. I can't tell you what's up there, what's above us. All I know is that there are ships or giant flying structures that may come from other parts of this realm. I have no idea where they would come from. I also think interdimensionality might play a part in it too. At this point, I am way beyond a lot of the first level conspiracy theory shit, to be honest. It's like, well, okay, yeah, maybe, but well, in a fractal reality, there is no such thing as being. it's like everything's big and small at the same time, right? So Mandela effect. I believe it is a mechanism, something that exists. I believe it's real, but I don't. But I do think that there is a lot of people saying things are Mandela effects. You know, it's definitely getting mixed up with a lot of other stuff. You know, and it's easy to do. Memories, the very fact that we have memories, it proves that time travel is real. We can do it within our own minds. We can go anywhere, anytime in our mind. You know, so it's the only way to escape. It's like there's no going outside anywhere. The only way out is in, so to speak. Yeah, I would say I would. Yeah, I think I'm affected by it myself. Been aware of it for a few years. 2017, January 2017, was when there was this massive explosion of Mandela effect stuff going on around 2016, 2017. Initially, it caught my attention, but it kind of disappeared, and then next thing I know, it kind of resurfaced again a few months later in January 2017, and then I met a whole bunch of people, and it's been a roller coaster ever since. Me too. I'm the same age as you. Right. So anyway, the main thing is that just because I think even if we were in a closed system flat Earth dome situation, I don't think that precludes the possibility of there being other beings with technology or whatever. I think there's a lot about this route. I mean, it's meant to be massive, so um, you know, it's meant to be massive, and that means there are other lands, other continents, other biospheres. It depends on what model you go for. Um, my favorite one at the moment is the Godhead Labstay. I can't even pronounce it properly because he's Belgium. He did a series about Crater Earth, and so that is actually probably one of my favorite ideas now. We're on a bigger Earth, and there's a lot more going. There's a lot more to the physics of our reality than they tell us. We've been told a load of crap, and all we can do is speculate, really. So anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't behind whatever's made this. I mean, aside from the fact that I facilitated making it through my artwork and through my own putting it together, but obviously, it's a crazy discovery. Why there would be animations within the spectrograph of the Schumann resonance is absolutely beyond me, but something tells me I'll find out eventually. And so anyway, this could come from anywhere. I mean, who knows? I've got a feeling it's very Mayan. It's got a Mayan quality to it, and I've been led to believe that the Mayans were around. It's similar. I've also compared it to the Egyptian stuff, and realizing that basically the Egyptian hieroglyphics and the Mayan hieroglyphs and stuff, it's all vertical. It's all there's a certain there's a theme, there's a way. So there's a very similar system of communication between those different groups, those different regions, and things are beginning to make sense to me now. Like the holographic technology in the sky and stuff like that. And I look at a lot of Mayan artworks and stuff. Somebody showed me something yesterday, and it was amazing. It was like, oh my god, this is the kind of shit I see in the sky. When I get a third eye kind of activation, I see shit in the sky basically. It's very interesting when that happens. I honestly believe that there are some things which are very local to us, which are basic. I think there's like, I don't know, it's so hard to. I think there's like multiple layers of reality that are kind of intersecting with each other, but we can only see and perceive and a very narrow band of that reality. That's how I look at it. So I think there are other things going on that we can't see all the time. It's very busy out there. Probably even busy in your own home. You wouldn't even know. Well, I got to please with this setup. I think I've done quite enough today. It's over an hour and a half. Bloody hell. Okay, that's long enough. I might have to edit a couple of clips and see what can be done. Anyway, thank you for watching.